Okay, so just while I'm waiting for people to come onto the live, I don't know who I've got with me at the moment. I'll have a look in a second. This is going to be uploaded to YouTube. So the first few minutes of this is just where I'm waiting for people to come onto the live. So if you're watching on YouTube, you might want to just scroll on a couple of minutes. If you are watching me live on Facebook, hello, let me know who you are. And I will show you in a second what it is that I'm looking to make. And hopefully you can hear me. I've turned all the sound down on everything here, so I'm not going to get the noise of notifications or anything. Put my phone on silent. Just show you what we're going to make today. It is a stepper card, and hello there, Anne, lovely to see you. This stepper card is taller than normal, and I've actually pinched a tutorial from Sam at Mixed Up Crafts. I love stepper cards. I just think they look really cool. But the ones that I've made in the past have been, hello Victoria, have been kind of landscape ones, and they're quite short, they're quite kind of dumpy. These are quite nice in that they're taller, so I'm going to show you how to do those. Oh, hello there Kathy, long time no see, which is down to me because I haven't been live for a while. These papers are beautiful. Let me show you some of them. So this is from, I'm still trying to get used to all the names, and I can show you the inside of the catalogue at last. This is called Blackberry Beauty, and these papers are beautiful. So we have this one. Let me just get the rest of them out so I can show you. I'm going to be using all sorts of stuff today. I'm going to be using that one. That's out of the same pack. They're just beautifully shiny, and even though they're from the mini catalogue, they're not particularly Christmassy. They're more autumnal than anything. I think you could use these all year round. They're just absolutely stunning. This one's got some, they've got some owls on them. I find the owls a little bit scary looking. In fact, incredibly scary looking, but each to their own. Is this part of it? Yeah, I think it is. So there's that one as well. So you wouldn't need to do anything with that paper. I think just cut that in four and make a very nice 6x6 card. Stick a sentiment on it and job done. So they are really pretty. So I'm going to be using that one, which I think is my favourite out of that range. But I'm not just stopping there. So this could be quite a long, I won't go any more than an hour. So it could be a relatively long tutorial. There's that one as well. So that's the real autumnal look. So it's got Blackberry Bliss in the background. Then it's got some gold. What other colours are in there? Oh, I'll close the book now. It's near the front, wasn't it? Oh, why can you never find it when you're looking for it? But I think it's probably my favourite in the book. Oh, can't find it. Isn't that typical? I thought it was at the beginning and it isn't. Let's talk amongst yourselves while I'm looking for it. There it is. So it's got cinnamon cider and early espresso in there as well. There are some hints of rich raspberry. I was trying to match these up and I thought that was rich raspberry in the background. I'm not actually really sure. I wasn't going to lose any sleep over it. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to be using some gold ribbon. I don't think that gold ribbon. I'm going to use something else. So I'm going to be using that today. And I'm going to be using, I've already got some of this prepared. I'm going to be using this. Let me show you this one. And I'm frantically trying to remember the name of it. I think that is gorgeous. No, the owls are a bit weird, Anne, I think. Just a bit strange. So we've got that. We've got some, what I think are possibly holly berries and some leaves in all of the different greens. I love the Stampin' Up greens. Also got that in there. You know, so that is Christmassy, isn't it? Got some holly on there. I didn't want to go too mad on Christmas, but as the new catalogue did launch today, I thought I better use some things from it. So if you haven't seen the new catalogue, give me a shout, give me an email, and I will send a PDF of it to you, together with the Celebration catalogue. And I forgot to order the Celebration catalogue, so I can't even send a physical copy of one, because I'm an idiot and I didn't order them. So I've got a few of these. But I'm waiting on the Celebration ones. I ordered those this morning. So for every £45 that you spend, you can earn a level 1 Celebration reward. Hello there, Tracy. And if you spend 90, you earn a level 2 reward. And that carries on right the way through to the end of September. So if you want a PDF of this, if you send me an email whenever you see this video, whether it's here live, whether it's on Facebook later on, or whether you're watching this on YouTube, just drop me an email, taffycrafting@gmail.com, and I'll send you a PDF. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I've already got one prepared. I don't know quite how this will go. We'll see. So I've got one that I've already prepared and cut out just in case my measurements went a bit wrong. The thing about doing lives, you'd sometimes get a little bit nervous, and then the measurements go a bit haywire. And I'm also, am I going to have time to do all of this? I don't know. Here's one of the Celebration rewards, a pack of 12 by 12 paper, and it is the penguins, which have been quite popular. And for my card this evening, I'm going to try and make 3 cards. Yeah, we'll see. I've fussy cut a couple of penguins. They were really easy to fussy cut. So the bigger paper, the paper with the bigger images. So we've got a fox on there. That's probably not too bad to fussy cut. And the polar bear might be a little bit trickier. But yeah, there is a punch that goes with these, but I haven't ordered the punch. I tend not to order punches out of the mini catalogues because they end up retired very quickly. So I tend not to go for those unless they are super cute. Right, so let's get going. So I've got a few of you on the call with me now. Hello, welcome, and I hope you're having a very nice Tuesday. So as I said, we're going to make this stepper card. So I've got one already prepared and ready to go together, but I am actually going to do one from scratch. I did invite people if they wanted to craft along with me. So whether they're doing that on YouTube or whether you're doing that now or you're just watching, it's entirely up to you. I don't mind. So you'll see one in real time, one that's already prepared, and then if there's time, I will do a third. So you will need 2 bits of card, and this is 12 by 12 because that's all I could buy the regals out of. I know you love your animals, Tracy. I know you love your animals. You can make this card out of 1 sheet of A4. I do recommend thick cardstock, but we're going to see now if we can get away with the slightly thinner cardstock. So for this one, I used thick basic white. And it just makes it a bit more sturdy. If you're going to layer this up, which I'm not going to do tonight because there just won't be enough time, but if you were going to put some extra layers on here, I think you would need thick, very vanilla, basic white or basic black, in my opinion, for what it's worth. So I've got 12 by 12 here, but that's only because I couldn't get hold of A4 when I last put in my order. So we need 2 pieces. And feel free to shout if I go too quickly. I'm quite happy to slow it down a bit. You need 2 pieces of card. One of them measures 7 inches by 5 inches, and the other one measures 7.5 inches by 5 inches. that's 5. I've been rabbiting on, it's 10 past 8 already. 5 by 7.5. And the other one needs to be 5 by 7. Let's do that this way and I'll try and limit the waste. So that was 7 by 5. Do you know what, Anne? I'm not 100% sure what the GSM is. So that's a really good question. And I'm going to find out. And I don't know if it says in the catalogue. So if I don't know straight away, I will make a point of finding out. I'm just going to have a very, very quick look. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not going to tell me. I will find out, Anne, what the GSM of that is. No, I can't see it written in the catalogue. I'm having a look there, but I can't see it, but I'll find out. But this card actually is quite thick, actually, but I will find out what that is. So I need a pencil. So we're going to make some marks on this. So I'm going to start first with the 5 inches by 7.5 inches. So this is the back of our card. And what I need to do first, you need a ruler. And we are going to make a mark 2.5 inches down. So make sure that you are, just a small mark there, make sure that you are using a pencil that is easy to rub out. So I'm just going to make a mark there at 2.5 inches. I'm going to get the scoreboard out, but you probably could use the trimmer. The scoreboard makes it a little bit easier to see. And Anne, you might need to remind me about that because I have a memory that's like a sieve. So I say I'm going to do something and it could be within the next 10 minutes I've forgotten. So please feel free to remind me. So you're going to score at 1 inch and only down to that 2.5 inch mark you've just made. And you're going to score at 4 inches only to that 2.5 inch mark that you made. And then you're going to turn it round and you're going to score at 2.5 to just meet that line there. Hoping you can see that, the light's catching that. Flip it round and do the same. So at 2.5 inches, just join it there. And these score lines are actually going to be where we're going to cut. So the ball of this, you need the smallest one, not the biggest one. And then with your rectangles on the right hand side, you are going to score at 7 inches. Okay, there'll be a blog post that goes with this. The lives that I'm doing, they're going to end up on YouTube and on my blog. It's going to take a few days for them to get there, but all of the measurements will be on there. But you can always watch this back again or just give me a shout if you need any measurements confirmed. So that's on the 5 inch by 7.5 inch card. Now this piece of card is 5 inches by 7 inches, and what we're going to do with this one, instead of making a mark at 2.5, I've got the light shining on this, which is a bit annoying. You're going to make a mark at 5.5. Just do it at both sides so that you can see it. So 5.5 inches down. So your marks are down here at the bottom, and you're going to do the same as you did with the other one. You're going to score at 1 inch down to that 5.5 inch mark, and again score at 4 inches down to that 5.5 inch mark. So if you're looking at this at the moment and thinking, oh gosh, this is a bit tricky, if you just take your time, it isn't tricky at all. It's actually it's quite straightforward. Sorry, I've got distracted by a message that's just popped up there. Now turn the card around, and you are going to score at 4.5 down to that first score line, and at 5.5 down to that first score line. And then flip it over, score at 4.5 down to the first score line, and at 5.5 down to the first score line. So when I was watching this on YouTube, when I saw Sam from Mixed Up Crafts doing this, I just kept pausing her while I was having a go at it. So and it is quite straightforward. The only thing that's tricky about it is just getting your folds in the right place. So let's start with this one first. So this is where we've got this score line that was at the 7 inch, and then we've just got these rectangles here. Now with a nice pair of snips, you are going to cut past the you're going to cut past the first score line and up to that corner like that, and you're going to snip off that. Okay, so you've got that going on, and then the same on this side, cut up this score line going past the first one and just up to that corner, and snip this bit off. And then what you're going to do is fold that down towards you and fold these two down towards you. Now this is the back of the card, and this is going to attach to the front. This is how we can get a nice tall stepper card. So with your bone folder, just going to burnish those score lines like that. So that's what you're looking like. It's kind of somebody with their head bowed and their arms out. Is there any way I can describe that? And then this one, have your two, well they're not squares, but have these two here. They are squares actually. Have these two here at the top. And you are going to cut all the way up to that. I'm just checking actually. All of a sudden I've got doubt in my mind. Yes. Can be scary when you're doing this and you've got loads of measurements. I've made this 3 times today. I do know what I'm doing, but as soon as you go live, all of a sudden your head empties. So cut all the way up to right into that corner. Hello there, Wendy. Is it nice and quiet in your house? Have the kids gone to bed? So we're just cutting up to these, so you just end up with these flaps like that. And then turn it round, so you've got these flapping in front of you there. And then these two here, you're going to push down. And then that fold that's behind, you're going to push up. So you end up with that. Okay, so you've got a mountain fold here and then a valley fold behind it. Now, this is where you have to be quite careful, because it's quite easy if you haven't got your score lines properly burnished that these start to flap out a bit. So just one at a time, just burnish these, and then also that fold underneath, hopefully you can see that, underneath there as well. And get that to match there. I've always got this one that just wants to go outwards. And then just burnish that as well. So that's the front of my card. And then what's going to happen is we're going to attach, this is a bit tricky to show on camera, I'm going to do it with some white card in a second. You're going to attach that flap to that flap. Attach that there, and then attach that there. I'm going to do it in white in a second so you can see it. They're about to go to bed. I used to find it really difficult to get my kids to bed when it was light outside. It's like, it's not bedtime, Mum. And 3 of my kids are the same age as Wendy's kids. So I'm just giving those a good burnish. So this is one that I made earlier, just to have ready before I decorate it. So what I'm going to do is put some tear and tape along here and some tear and tape on here. You could do it with wet glue, but I don't, it just starts moving about all over the place. And I'm going to put my tear and tape right up onto that score line up there. So when you're looking at this piece of card, you've got all the folds towards you. Everything's flapping towards you. And then with these, I'm going to put one again right on the score line, because if you don't, there'll just be a gap. And then I'm just going to put another couple here. But you could use wet glue or what I call dispenser glue or double-sided tape. Well, this is double-sided tape. What am I talking about? I hope the school holidays are going well, Wendy. I don't miss that whatsoever. So I've got my take your pick tool. Super handy tool this is. And I'm just going to take this one off to start off with. So here's the back with all of your tabs that are facing forward. And then with this one, so we've got this at the front, so our mountain fold at the front, and these things flapping away at the back. This at the top, we're going to stick, so try and get as best you can the cut line to match the score line. Now I can't get my head over this, otherwise you get to see the top of my head. But that's going to sit on there like that. And just try and get those to match as best you can. And then these are going to stick to these. So just one at a time, especially if you're using wet glue, just one at a time. Whoops. Those things have loads of static in them and they just stick to everything. Now I'm being what my mum used to call cack-handed. Just so that I don't get my hands in the way. So this flap sticks to this and you've got to get it square, well, as square as possible. And I haven't quite there, but I can trim that up. So all I'm going to do there is just trim it. That's because I couldn't get close enough to it. We'll do the same with this one. And then we've got the main body of our card then, and all we need to do is decorate it. So tomorrow's live, just while I'm sticking this down, tomorrow's live I'm going to do in the morning because I've got to go out tomorrow afternoon. So I will be here in the morning. So it'd be a simple project. I'd like to show you some simple stamping tomorrow. So it'd be really quick. Anybody can join me tomorrow morning. So there is the main body of our card like that, and there it is stood up. So that's on thick Whisper White. I think you could get, not Whisper White, it's not called Whisper White, it's called Basic White. But I think if you used a normal weight Basic White, it will probably be okay if you're just going to stick to one layer of card. Right, I'm going to very quickly stick this, and you can tell me what you've been crafting recently, or what things are in the autumn winter catalogue that you've got your eye on. What time tomorrow, Anne? I think I'm going to do 10:30, because I think I've got to be out of here by 1:30. So let's say 10:30. I know exactly what stamp set I'm going to use. So I haven't got to do too much prep, but it will be quite quick. It won't be any more than half an hour. So just very quickly get these on here. What time are we at? 25 past. Gosh. Don't think I'll get the third one made, but I will make it, put a picture up of it. Does that mean you're going to be able to join me tomorrow, Anne? So just putting, again, tape on these tabs. And I'm going to try and match this as best I can without getting my head in the way. I've also got really awful eyesight. It's really poor, so it's really difficult to see when it starts getting into the evening. So I could have matched that a bit better. Again, this front tab, this front flap, I'll just match onto that tab there, and I'll do the same with this one. You know, sometimes you watch, excuse me, people on YouTube or on Facebook Lives, and sometimes you just have to wind it back 2 or 3 times to be able to see it. Hopefully, you've picked up there what I'm doing. Oh, it's all got in a muddle. Oh, that's good. Okay then, so I just need that to match a little bit better. I think one of those score lines has gone a bit off centre. Okay, so to start decorating these cards now. So for this white card, I'll come back to the Blackberry Bliss one in a moment. For this white card, what I've done is I have cut out a piece of DSP. And I haven't told you what that one comes from, but that DSP measures what did I measure it at? I'll tell you. It's 4 3/4 inches across by 6 3/4 inches high. Now this paper is called Painted Christmas. It's really, really pretty. It's got pine cones and everything in it. And I'll show you how I dealt with that. I'll do it with this one. So this is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. But then we've got to chop some bits away. So make sure you've got this the right way up first. and I need to make some marks on this, so just so I can show you what you're going to cut away. I can't do this on a trimmer. I end up trimming too much or not enough, and then it all goes a bit pear-shaped and it looks wrong. So actually what's easier is just to make some marks on the other side of your paper and then cut them away with scissors. It's just more accurate. So I've got either side of this 2 lines that are 1 inch either side. So just measured 1 inch either side of this. And then I've forgotten how much this was. Just measure it. Yeah, 1 1/4. I'm then going to measure up 1 1/4 inches. Don't need to worry about rubbing any of this out because it's on the back. So I measured up 1 1/4 inches and then just drew a line. And what we're going to do is just take away these 2 big rectangles. Now, if you do make one of these cards, some of you already know that myself, Vicky Lou Designs and Crafty Karen Designs, we have a sharing group called Craft and Banter. So if you do make one of these and you would like to share it on there, I'd love to see it. I had somebody today share something that they made. I made a floating card. I don't know if any of you saw it. It was on my YouTube channel. I made a floating card and somebody made it from my video and posted it on the Craft and Banter group. So if you make one of these, please show us. I'd love to see it. And so then look how that card, that colour goes with that. It's absolutely, absolutely stunning. It would look better if if my score lines were a bit better. Now, if you were going to really layer that up, you could put a gold layer behind that. But for now, I'm just going to stick with that. So I've just done that with wet glue because it's just so much easier to line it up and move it if you need to. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I just love the combination of those colours with that kind of like a beige behind it. Now you could leave it like that and not actually have any decoration behind this, but actually what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put that on there, that's awful. I'm going to find something else. I think I'm going to put that behind it. Or I don't know now, I can't decide. I'm going to go with that. You need 2 strips of this that measure, what do they measure? 7/8 of an inch. I did do it with 3/4 of an inch and it's, I don't know, it didn't look right. By, what does it need to be? 4.5, 4 3/8. And these are just going to sit on those 2 panels like that. That does actually go quite nice in there, doesn't it? I'll get my other one finished in a moment. And then what I'll do this afternoon, what am I talking about this afternoon? This evening, I'll make the penguin one and I'll put that on my on this Facebook page. like that. It's a little bit fiddly getting that one in there. But if it's a little bit crooked at the bottom, nobody can see it. And if you're giving this to somebody as a card, I think they would just be impressed by the patterns on here. I don't think they'll be worried if it's a little bit crooked. Because I've got barely any natural light left in this room, it's difficult to see how nice that looks, but it's just a really lovely colour combination. I absolutely love that paper. I'm going to end up buying some more, I know I will. And then what I want is to have quite a simple sentiment in the middle. So couldn't decide what I wanted to do because I don't want to be covering up any of this really. So I just want something really simple. And I think I'm just going to pick a really simple happy birthday from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. I use this a lot just because it's got some nice sentiments on there, covers lots of things. So let's pick out the happy birthday and get that stuck on a block. And I'm going to stamp that onto some scrap of Very Vanilla that I've got. And then I've got to decide what punch I'm going to use. I think I know what I'm going to use. If it fits, we'll see in a minute. So I've got my Blackberry Bliss ink, which has gone a bit manky. I don't know why. It just doesn't look very nice. I've had it a while now, so I obviously need to buy another one. So I'm hoping this will stamp okay. Yeah, that will do. It would look better if my ink pad was better. So I've got the Tailor Tag punch. That fits beautifully in there, like that. And then with my scrap of Blackberry Bliss, punch one of those out. It's quiet on here this evening. Is Love Island on earlier or something? Or the Olympics on? So I'm going to stick those two just behind there, like that. And then I'm going to put some ribbon behind it just to jazz it up a little bit. I know that people watch these lives later, which is fine. This kind of kills two birds with one stone for me because I'm able to do a live and reach out to my people that like my Facebook page. But then at the same time, I'm able to, I can upload this later as a YouTube tutorial. Ah, the Olympics is on, I see. I've not really been following any of that this time. I don't know why. I think it started when I started my college holiday, and then I've just had loads of other things that I've wanted to do. So unfortunately, the Olympics, I've not really been watching them. Oh, Victoria's there. She's watching with me and with one eye and one ear. That's fine, multitasking. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm just going to put that ribbon behind it. Let's not waste a whole load of it. If you didn't know, cut your ribbon at an angle so that it... Oh, and it frayed. Let's get a better pair of scissors. That's better. So we just want the ribbon to be the width of the middle of that card. It's fraying a little bit, that ribbon. Need a sharper pair of scissors. And then what I'm going to do is I put my dimensionals away. No, I didn't. I did get them out, but I don't know what I've done with them. There's always a pack to hand. I've got about 54,000 packs of mini dimensionals. Don't ask me why. obsessed with them. Now, if you're thinking, well, where are you going to write your message? We're going to do that in a sec. So I'm going to put my ribbon there. Do you still have young children up, Victoria? And I'm going to put that on top. And then, let's see what I've got here. I've got some champagne rhinestones because I think this just needs a little bit of bling. My desk has suddenly got incredibly untidy. There's one card. So I've got that one as a birthday card. The second card I'm going to do is this Christmas card. So already put that together, already got my piece of DSP. This card is sitting a bit better because it's folded better than the other one has. Now I'm going to do some things with some ribbon on this one. Trying to keep an eye on comments. Oh, thank you, Anne. You're very kind. It's funny, I do this as a kind of like a job. I teach people as my job, and then I come and do this in my spare time and keep teaching. Can't help myself. And then I cut some more of these, but I'm using the back. Well, not the back, just the other side. And I'm just going to slip those in there like that. Just to give a bit of a contrast. So this one is going to be about the ribbon. I've already sorted out the sentiment as well. Now I cut these at 3/4 of an inch wide and they're too narrow. I think they need to be wider. I think there's too big a gap there. There's too much white there, in my opinion. I think as well, I was thinking earlier when I was preparing this project for today's live that, you know, Christmas cards just seem to be going out of fashion a bit. And I think it would just be nice that if you're not going to send lots of cards, then make a few really, really nice cards. Now, what I've done with this is I've got a piece of ribbon. This ribbon is beautiful. I think it's from the mini catalogue. I'm just going to quickly check. I can't find it now. Now remember, if you are ordering from the mini catalogue, that if you want to earn celebration rewards, it doesn't need to just be from here. It can be from the annual catalogue as well. No, this is actually from the annual catalogue. So what I've done is I've put tear and tape on the back, and I'm just going to plop that on there like that and stick it down. And this can be a little bit tricky to release it, but I think I was lucky with that. And it just came off. And I'm going to eyeball that and hopefully get that right in the middle. Press that down, and then I'm just going to turn that over. And probably wasted a little bit of ribbon there, but never mind. So So I've got some ribbon on there. And then the other thing that I did with this, I never tie a bow live, ever. So if you've never watched me before, you won't, I'm just telling you that I never do these live because they never work out. And I'm just going to pop that there. I think I probably need to trim that down. And I'm going to stick those down with some mini glue dots. These are brilliant and so sticky. You just pick up one of those there like that, and I'm going to stick it to the back of my bow. And it's very easy to get gummed up with this, so just kind of grab it with the tip of your nail. And I'm just going to put that there like that. Now I promise you, I did make that bow. Those of you that watch me regularly might say, oh yeah, I bet. I did, honestly. I did make that bow myself. I'm just going to trim a little bit more off of there. My scissors have got a bit gummed up. One last thing. I have some, what is this? Evening Evergreen. God, I couldn't remember the name of it. Evening Evergreen. And this measures 5 inches by, I'll tell you in a second, 5 inches by 1 inch. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White, and this will be 7/8 of an inch by 4 7/8. And I've used this sentiment. I love this, but it's a big one. So if you're making cards that are 4 inches wide, you're not going to be able to get that on there. You need a good, yeah, almost 5 inches of card to stamp that. This comes from Heartfelt Wishes, which is from the new mini catalogue, and so I've gone with this one. It's got some nice sentiments on here. I'm going to be using this one as well. So I've got the Merry Christmas and to the you and yours from our family. But there's also a Happy New Year on there. There's cheers, Heartfelt Wishes, this wondrous season. So some nice sentiments, but I love the font. And I've stamped that in Evening Evergreen. So what I'm going to do is mount that with mini dimensionals. I was just seeing your comment there, and I don't watch Love Island either. I really can't see the point of it, but there we are, each to their own. But my my daughter, if I phone her and it's getting towards 9 o'clock, she'll say, oh, that's it, Mum, I can't talk to you now. Love Island's on. Bye. So, oh, nice. And I'm going to try and line that up as best I can. So having the mini dimensionals on there just gives it a little bit of height. And we'll put that on there, but I'm not sticking it here, I'm just sticking it in the middle. So I'm gonna have to eyeball that a little bit. Let's just get it stuck, get some glue just in the middle section of that. So if you put that there, that gives you an idea. There we go. So there's our second card. So we do need to put something on the back. So this is going to go on the back of this card. Let's just have a look at the time. I've got 10 minutes, we can do this. So I've got 2 pieces of card. This is Evening Evergreen. I need to get my measurements out because these are slightly different from the front. So this measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then what I've done is just taken out a 2 inch by 1 inch segment out of each corner. So 1 inch by 2 inches. So the same thing that I did before, I just made some marks at 1 inch and at 2 inches. Did some lines and I've just cut those out. With this one, similar, but this measures 4.5 by 6.5, but I've done the same thing again, taken 1 inch and 2 inches. And that will make that fit perfectly in there. We're going to stick that to the back like that. And the other thing I'm going to do is stamp it. So I've got my Evening Evergreen ink, and I'm going to put To You and Yours from Our Family. Now I love the Evening Evergreen ink because it's a good alternative to black. Now I've got to be careful with stamping on this because I've got a ridge in my table. Now you could stamp all sorts of things on here, but because I don't have a great deal of time, I'm just going to put the sentiment on here, but you could perhaps stamp some holly leaves and some berries. Entirely up to you. So To You and Yours. And then From Our Family. And I think that card would really benefit from, you know, having some holly leaves and berries and things stamped on it as well. So I'm just going to pop that on there like that, and the beauty of liquid glue is that you can just have a second to move that about. And I'm using the bone folder to disperse that glue underneath, otherwise you end up seeing where you've kind of squiggled it on. And then we're going to put that on the back there. You've got some nice layers going on there. So there's our Christmas card, nice tall Christmas card. So we've got some ribbon detail going on there. You could add some sparkle on there if you wanted to. So if you were going to do that, oh, I can't find mine. There they are. So I've just got some rhinestones. These are the basic rhinestones, and you could, you know, stick a few of those on there. It is a Christmas card at the end of the day, so you want it to twinkle. We'll put one of those up there. So you could do that if you wanted to. So then going back to this one, and you know, I'm kind of running a bit out of time, but we do need to put something on the back so we can write on it. So just to make this one complete, this wonderful card. So trimming this down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then just with my ruler, don't have to worry about marks because we can just move this to the back. So 1 inch, 1 inch, and then come up to, I can't remember what it was, 2 inches, wasn't it? Yeah. Got the light shining on my ruler, I can't see. And then I'm just going to join those up like that. So all I've done is just taken a 2 inch by 1 inch rectangle out of there. So definitely not time to do the penguins. I thought I was kind of pushing my luck really with that one, but I will, as I'm tidying up, I will make that one and I'll put it on my Facebook page. So with the Blackberry Bliss, I need to find a sentiment. Oh, I can't find anything. Maybe we'll go with this one. Wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. Let's go with that. No, that's not it. That's the one. God, I've got stuff all over the place. It's going to take me about half an hour just to tidy up. Right, last bit, we can get some glue on this and we are done. Okay, and I'm just going to get that in the middle, and that's stamped better than I thought it was going to. Just give that a chance to dry off. And then we can put that in there, and then that's ready for somebody to write the sentiment on. So I hope you enjoyed this and it inspires you to have a go. Something a little bit simpler for tomorrow. Like I said, if you do have a go, come and find us in Craft and Banter. Just ask to join the group and we'll come and let you in. And it is a sharing group. And if there's anything that you've seen me use tonight, if you're interested in buying, let me know, and you can either buy through me direct or straight onto my website. Either way will be fine. And if you quote the hostess code, then I know that you've ordered, and then I can get some few little thank you goodies sent over to you. So let's just have a look at what we've got. So we've got 3 cards now. Just so you know, these bits that are here have come from these. It's like a little, it's almost like a sticker book really. There's that scary owl, and it's called an ephemera pack, whatever one of those is. But what it has, it's got all of these die cuts already done. So for this card, for the card that I made earlier, so it's got labels and things on there, scary owl, it's got some leaves and some flowers, some labels, and I just poked these out and I stuck them on the back of my sentiments. This card I wasn't entirely happy with because I did the background in white and it doesn't work for me. But there we are. It's trial and error with crafting sometimes. But really pleased how these have turned out. My folding could have been better on that one, but that's the difficulty with filming and not being able to get your head right over the project. Thank you ever so much. Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Hopefully, if you have a go, let me have a look and see what you've done. And so 10:30, I can't remember what time I said, but I think I'm aiming for 10:30 tomorrow morning for a really quick stamping project. And I'm going to show you the dies that are in the Celebration catalogue that go with the stamp set that I'm going to use tomorrow. So thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll be back again in the morning. See you then. Bye bye.